No Victocrats allowed. Why? Because we've got a country to save. Join me, Larry Elder, tonight starting at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. For a long time on this show, we've discussed the topic of Me Too and wondered aloud when Me Too would come to state government in Illinois, as it's come to state government in a lot of states, in addition to, of course, entertainment and journalism and show business. And we've had incidents, not too many. We've had a couple of women come forward. Democrat, former Madigan staffer, coming forward against Madigan staffers. We had Denise Rothheimer, who we've had on the show, who came forward against misconduct by soon-to-be former state senator Ira Silverstein, who lost his re-election campaign in the primary. And now Denise is with another woman who is set to hold a press conference today to assert that she was the victim of sexual misconduct by someone who is being described at this point as a leading state legislator in Illinois. And oh, by the way, against the backdrop of this, remember, 2 years without a legislative inspector general, the position that's charged with investigating misconduct by legislators. And when Julie Porter was finally appointed towards the end of last year, it's not permanent. Her contract was to run only through June, I believe, and now they've extended it to the end of the year. So this has been, from the beginning of these accusations and the revelation of the vacancy for 2+ years in the Legislative Inspector General's office, a cover-your-ass operation by the leadership of both political parties in Springfield. And you've had a couple of women come forward, hundreds more women sign a letter alleging the culture of sexual harassment in Springfield, but few have come forward to make specific allegations and put themselves in the crosshairs. So we're pleased to be joined by another woman who is. We're going to refer to her as M until she has her press conference later this morning, and she introduces herself and asserts whatever she's going to assert. But M, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you taking the time to hear my story.
Well, so what is it exactly that happened to you with respect to this leading legislator as described?
Well, I came down as an advocate on my own time and my own money, and helping the citizens of Illinois pass legislation and bills that I thought that were important to the people of my life and to the people of this state. And as I have done that, certain leaders have held bills that I was working on. And when we didn't go along with what they wanted to do and how they wanted to change these certain bills, and we voiced our opinions on this, we were humiliated, we were blackballed, we were harassed, we were threatened. This is unexcusable behavior for anybody in society, let alone people that we voted to come here on behalf of doing the people's work. It's unacceptable.
Well, what was the nature of the harassment?
Phone calls, on Sundays even, screaming, swearing, anger beyond I've ever seen, to be honest with you. And I've worked at some hard places, and nothing has prepared me for being down here in Springfield.
So you're not in politics or the policy arena. You just got involved for a specific issue.
Yes, and I've never been down here to be paid, to have a job, to do any of it. It's been as an advocate to help others in Illinois when they didn't have voices. And for many years, I didn't have a voice because I couldn't go to anybody, because there was nobody to go to.
So you're talking about one person who will be named later, who's in a leadership position. How long did this harassment or abuse go on?
Many years. I've been down here for at least 10 years pro bono, working for the citizens of Illinois for free. And this has gone on probably the last 4 or 5 years really bad, where I've been harassed and blackballed and threatened. And
the nature of
unacceptable.
I'm sorry. The nature of the harassment, was this like a sexual overture and a rejection, and then a pursuit and an increasing anger at being rebuffed,
Yes.
or what was the nature of it?
Yes, all of that, what you just said, is the nature of it. If any woman comes to Springfield and thinks that they're not going to feel uncomfortable by the glares and the looks and the treatment of these legislators, they're wrong.
Why
And
are
you're
you?
wrong.
Yeah, why are you coming forward now? If this has been going on for 4 to 5 years, what was your breaking point where you said, you know what, this enough's enough? I'm going to say something.
Well, when I saw Denise come forward, and I never met Denise until today. I reached out to her to let her know in secrecy that she wasn't alone. And same thing with Elena. And same thing with Miss Cassidy. And I sat here as a bystander, watching all these women go through all of this. And no man and no one has stood up to help them. And everybody knows the culture down there. And everybody has witnessed it. And everybody has seen it. And nobody's saying anything about it. And you're waiting to see who the next person is going to be to discredit us. Unacceptable behavior. And this is on both sides of the aisle. This isn't just on one side of the aisle. There is a moral compass that has been broken in Springfield. And I do not see it repairing itself unless people like me and other people stop being bystanders and want to do something about it, because enough is enough. How many people do you need to see? Do you need to see 95 people like at Harvey Weinstein's trial? Is that what it's going to take for anybody that's listening to this to believe that this is absolutely happening?
Well, I can hear the pain in your voice, and I know this is traumatic for you. But what do you hope happens to this certain unnamed legislator who has been allegedly harassing you?
Well, I hope that the speaker and the governor really come to an understanding that this is on both sides of the aisle, and that us women should have an equal opportunity to do what we're supposed to do, whether you get paid to work here, whether you come as a citizen for your other fellow citizens. No one should be harassed, and no one should be belittled, and no one should be told not to come back to Springfield, that you are not allowed here any longer. Working on bills and told, this person called legislatures and told them that if I'm working on certain bills, these bills will be buried in the House rules. And they have. And I say, I can't stand here as a bystander any longer and watch all these credible women be discredited.
When
Can't do it any longer.
when you talk about what you've seen down there, can you describe that with respect to the legislator that harassed you, as well as just kind of generally from your work in that arena for as long as you've been down there?
Yes, I disagreed with him killing a certain nonprofit bill. For-profit bill. I disagreed, and
I'm sorry, you broke up a second there. You disagreed with what?
I disagreed with killing of a there was a nonprofit bill that I was working on, and he wanted to kill it for a profit bill, and I disagreed, and others had disagreed. And I want everybody to know that I've never been down to Springfield by myself. I've been down with a lot of different people, and a lot of people have witnessed what I've gone through and have seen it, and they've also been victim to this. Not just females, but men as well. And if the men don't come up and stand behind us women, knowing that they're also a threat to their job and their livelihood, and shame on them. Shame on them for making me stand forward with these women to show there is credibility. This isn't a false piece. This is somebody's lives. We have lives. We have children. We're your wives. We're your sisters. We're your daughters. Would you want your daughters to be treated this way? Because my parents certainly don't. They don't.
But I just want to be clear on this, because the two are not mutually exclusive, thuggery and thuggery of a sexual nature. But But there's one thing to say, get out of here, stop bothering me because I'm not going to support your bill, or I'm not going to support your bill unless there's some kind of quid pro quo.
It's not that.
And so yeah, could you describe that for us then, what it is?
It's what everybody else is talking about. It's Representative Cassidy and other people that stand up and say, if you don't conform and go along with everything that they tell you to, regardless of your own morals and your own mindset, that you will be blackballed and that you will be treated unfairly and you will be harassed and you will be singled out. And no matter how many times you sit here and you go through a video of 15 minutes and answer questions on sexual harassment, that's not enough.
So you're suggesting essentially, unless you play ball, and play ball means of a sexual nature, then you're not going to get what you want.
In every nature. It all starts in Springfield as a sexual nature if you're a female.
Okay.
All of it. I don't care who you are. Everybody has felt what I have felt. Everybody. And people are too scared to come forward. They're just scared, and I was scared, and I never thought that I would be able to do it.
Can you tell us
and
what
after seeing
was...
all these women on both sides of the aisle and know that the person that has harassed me for all these years has harassed another female legislator, when are the men going to stand up and support the women that are going through this alone?
Yeah, I've heard Springfield like a playland for men who are married and spend weeks away.
It's not just the men. I mean,
yeah,
it's
some women.
Yeah,
too.
look,
That's right.
I spent a little time down there, not very much, but in state government, so I never was stationed down there, as it were. But I mean, this is why they call it Spring Vegas and chuckle. It's like a Gore Vidal novel down there.
It's a certified terrible frat house.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So us women have to walk through the frat house every day to do the people's work. Do you think that's acceptable? I don't think it's acceptable. And no offense, I don't like Vegas for that reason. It is seedy and it is uncomfortable, and I don't like going there for that reason. I had no clue that the people's house was like that.
Did you you said the person that harassed you also harassed another female legislator. Is that female legislator, to your knowledge, going to come forward as well to back up your story and tell her own?
Well, I'm hoping that after I have come forward today, that she does. And I hope that other people come forward today, because they are scared. They are scared to lose their job. They're scared to lose everything, and they have everything to lose. None of us have anything to gain down here. They're like the untouchable. And we see it time and time and again. And we sit here as bystanders time and time again. And no one has done anything about it. And no one cares to do anything about it.
And I assume
when is somebody going to care? How many people do we have to pull out of their lives to stand in front of everybody and say, this is actually happening. This is true.
And the legislator that harassed you, is he married?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What time is your press conference?
At 1:00.
Okay.
And at that press conference, you're going to name the legislator in question that we're describing generically here.
Well, the point to change the system isn't to keep hiding in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To change the system is to be out in the light and open with it, being transparent with it. And Illinois does not have a good record on being transparent on anything.
No, that is an understatement. Let me ask you this. Since this has been announced that you're going to have this press conference, obviously the individual knows who he is. Has there been any outreach to you, any effort to derail you from having this press conference and telling your story?
No, I think that's going to happen after the press conference.
Okay, Em, thank you so much for joining us, and it's interesting, one woman steps forward, then another does, and perhaps we're getting to some reckoning down there that has been described and people thought was in the offing for a long time, but it's been painstaking to occur, and you understand why when Em is describing the culture down there. Em, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. Good luck at your press conference today, and
thank you for the support.
Thank you for coming forward.
Thank you.
All right.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer.